Former President Trump making an early morning visit to Midtown Manhattan before heading to court today. Awesome, beautiful, bright day. You know what? President Trump is making it work. He's in court every day except for Wednesdays for right now, and he's actually bringing his message to the New York crowd there. Beautiful picture. Newsmax correspondent Addison Smith is standing by with more on Trump's visit. Addison.
Yeah, guys, the former president just left the construction site of J.P. Morgan. We've got some union workers, construction workers here, including Mr. Bobby. Bobby, your reaction to seeing the former president come by?
Very exciting that he's come by to say hello to construction workers. You know, in the past, we are basically Democrats, all of us, and after what's happened the last 4 years in this country, Democrats are basically pushing everybody to the other side. We're a very patriotic group, and we love our country, and we want the best for America. We are tired of immigration. We're tired of our tax dollars going to immigration. We're tired of the crime. We need to put a handle on things in this country and bring it back to how it should be.
And you say after what's happened over the last 4 years, what have you seen happen throughout Joe Biden's presidency that has pushed you guys towards the right?
Well, I don't think it's just so much Joe Biden himself, but it's basically all of Congress, the House, and the Senate. They're not taking care of the American citizens. It seems the American citizens are last, and the immigrants that come over the border illegally and criminals have more rights than the American citizens that are paying their taxes and going to work every day.
And if you could say one thing to Joe Biden right now, obviously he's trying to court union voters. He met with United Steelworkers in Pennsylvania a couple of weeks ago. What would you say to him?
I would say start supporting the American citizens before anybody else.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So there you have it, guys. A traditionally Democrat group who's saying they're fed up with Joe Biden, with Democrats, with the House, the Senate, really everybody pushing them further towards Donald Trump in November. Quite a powerful thing to hear. And again, at 4 or 5 in the morning, when you see all these construction workers and a lot of other Trump supporters coming out in Manhattan, MAGA hats everywhere. If you were watching a couple minutes ago, you saw that. Something that you normally wouldn't expect to see if you're outside of New York. But in talking to these people, they say, no, we're not surprised to see so many Trump supporters showing up in New York because we're fed up with the leadership that's currently in place. We're ready for a change. So that's the scene that we're hearing here in New York. Not something you would have thought would happen, guys.
Yeah, you know, Addison, President Trump is bringing his message directly to all people, including New Yorkers. Did you observe any, individuals walking by who wasn't part of the construction site? And if so, what were their reactions?
Yeah, the reaction was on par with what we're hearing from these construction workers. You know, we're tired of the Democrat policies that have led to soaring inflation, high crime, open borders. It's what we're hearing from everyone here. There was a whole group, 4:30 in the morning, whole group of dozens of people in line waiting to see the former president. I think we have a clip of what he had to say here on scene. Let's take a listen.
We have a big case today in the Supreme Court on presidential immunity. A president has to have immunity. If you don't have immunity, you just have a ceremonial president. I have a lot of support. I hear the Teamsters, I've done a lot of work with Teamsters. I built a lot of buildings with the Teamsters, and they like me, a lot of Teamsters here. And it's an amazing show of affection, but we did a great job.
Yeah, I know. And guys, of course, the president still in Manhattan as the Supreme Court is taking up oral arguments in his presidential immunity case against Jack Smith, trying to see if he can be granted presidential immunity in relation to his ongoing election case. The judge denied that, so he is here in Manhattan. He can't go out and campaign. Of course, he has called that election interference. And so now he's resorted to this, doing on-the-road stops in the morning before he has to go to Manhattan court. Maybe he'll do something late at night, but that's really what his hand has been forced to, is having to do these early morning campaign stops here in New York, guys.
You know, Addison, when you actually think about how the union bosses in Michigan have endorsed President Biden, however, the union workers actually side with President Trump. And are you seeing the same thing at this construction site in New York, of all places?
Juan, how are you?
Yeah, well, let's ask Bobby.
Yes.
So a lot of union leaders have come out and endorsed Biden, but are we seeing something different from union workers than we are from union leaders?
I believe you are, and if you're a New York City resident and you see what's going on in this city, you'd be, it wouldn't be a good move for us not to clean up what's happening in this city right now. It's just absolutely despicable, as the Democrats use that word, of what's going on in this city, this town, this country.
So there you have it, the disparity between what union leaders at the top are saying and what the union workers actually want.
Well, like I said earlier, I work for my members. And that's what a lot of union leaders are forgetting, I think, that they work for their members. They don't work for me. I work for them.
And so people know, what union do you lead?
I am the business manager of the Steamfitters Local of 638, New York City and Long Island. And if you don't work for your members, like every politician is supposed to be working for the citizens. It's not their vision that they should be passing along. It's the constituents who vote for them. So these members voted for me. This is what they want. This is where it's leading. And I work for them, and I'm going to do what my members want me to do.
Well said, sir. Thank you. So there you have it, guys. I can't really put it any better than that. I'll send it back to you.
Great. Thanks, Addison. Great reporting.